So there's nothing more heartbreaking than having a bag that is of a light colour and then wearing it for an afternoon only to find out that when you get back it is full of colour transfer. The bag looks a completely different colour on the other side and it has almost completely ruined your bag. Today I'm going to be showing you some of my tips and tricks on how to keep your bags looking light and white, avoiding colour transfer and keeping the longevity of the colour on your bag. Number one tip on making sure that your bag does not get any color transfer is not touching your face. So most of us women do wear makeup, and this makeup can definitely rub off very easily on your collars or your shirts when you kiss someone. It is just something that happens when you wear makeup. However, when you touch your face throughout the day, you build deposits on your hands like oil and grime and just makeup in general, and that doesn't always come off. So if you're wearing your bag and you're touching it, you're just going to build up these makeup stains, and sometimes makeup can be the hardest thing to get rid of. So always make sure that you are not touching your face. Keep your hands away. If you need to scratch or itch, I always say just tap. Either if you tap with your pinky, then you can, obviously just have your pinky that you need to wash, or just use a tissue. Have tissues in your bag. Another one is avoid using hand moisturizers. Now, I really love using hand moisturizers. My hands can get quite dry throughout the day, but if you're using them while you're carrying your bag top handle, then this can be a little bit of a problem. You will deposit color onto the bag quite easily. Grime, oil, all those sort of things contribute to color transfer as well. Bags can be sprayed to protect them using a special bag protector, usually like a carbon protector, and this can work for a lot of bags. I have used it in the past with my Mulberry Alexa, the one sitting right behind me. I've actually sprayed that a few times and it still has that raw finish of the leather. However, it does protect it from things like the weather, rain, spillages, and slightly any marks that can happen on the bag. This can also protect it. I wouldn't recommend doing this to all of your bags, especially Lady Dior bags, because the finish can be a little bit more raw and delicate, and I find that it will create a different sheen on the bag and it will lose its character. The Mulberry Alexa bag, I actually bought the carbon with the bag. The sales associate there recommended it to me and I've been using it since because it was recommended. However, when you go to Dior, they don't recommend any spray or any protection, so I wouldn't use something else on the bag. So after you use your bag for an event or an afternoon, the best thing to do is to give your bag a little bit of a wipe. So you can use like a microfiber cloth and just wipe over the bag, or if there's any marks that are quite superficial, then you can use a damp microfiber and just buff those ones out. Don't use too much pressure, but just using a damp cloth can really help to get any marks that may have been accumulated on that day. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss things that I have tried but didn't actually work when it came to preventing color transfer. So I did experiment with washing jeans and spraying the jeans after, because I did read somewhere that it actually can prevent darker colored clothing from color transfer on your light bags. So what I did is I had some jeans and I just washed them a couple of times. Now, I don't wash my jeans very often. I actually like them to have that rich dark color that they first have when they're first bought, so I try not to wash them as much. And also I have a few jeans, so I cycle through them and I don't really need to wash them too often. So I washed these jeans because they were particularly dark and I just wanted to wear them with my light colored bag. And then I sprayed the area, and I sprayed the area quite heavily on the jeans with this carbon light spray that I got from Mulberry, and then I also sprayed the bag, so I had a double protection on them. And after a few hours walking with the bag, there was no color transfer and I was quite impressed. However, after about an hour or so, I think it was 2 hours, the color had started to transfer from the jeans onto the bag and I was very shocked. I ran to the bathroom and just gave it a little bit of a wipe to see if if I could try and get it out. I got most of it out, fortunately, and the bag still looks okay today. So here is my Mulberry Alexa, and this bag has had color transfer on it, and you can see that most of the transfer has disappeared. I have wiped it. There is some wear on the corners, but if you just look at this bag at first glance, then you can't really tell that there's any color transfer. There is one thing that when you do shine that protection on there, it does give the bag a little bit more of a shine. So this shine will last with the bag unless you wash the bag. And it really is a personal preference if you like this shine. I think mulberry leather eventually gets a shine anyway, but this can sort of, you know, take away that nice powdery finish. This color is also called chalk, so it did have a bit of a powdery finish when I first bought it, and now it has more of a shiny finish. So my number one preventative tip that I have, and this may be used for many different bags, I only use it on my Lady Dior's at the moment. This tip I really do love because it does help me not think too much about what I'm wearing, and I can style my bags however I like without having to worry about color transfer. On this Lady Dior, you can just see that there is no color transfer. I usually wear a Mitza scarf over the handle, and that just protects the leather from getting any oils, as I do carry this top handle quite a bit. But you can see that this bag looks perfect, and if I turn it around, you may not notice anything on this bag. It just looks like it's white at the back. There doesn't look like there's any color transfer. But if you actually look closely, this bag actually has some areas, and you can see there's a little bit of like markings here. On this side, there's a bit of marking. On that side as well. So you can see certain areas of this bag that look slightly different to this side. And the reason for that is I've actually used a protective film over this bag. So this works really well with this one because it's not very noticeable, but once I let you know, you can actually kind of see it's a little bit wrinkly and it has a different finish. So this film is like a skin finish film. It is quite flexible and it feels very soft when you touch the bag. So this film lays over the top of the leather and it has a sticky side to it, and then the other side is just like a nice silky kind of matte feeling. This is called second skin, and I think they use this medically. If you're getting a tattoo, this is definitely something that they'll protect over if they're not using cling film. If they're a little bit more of a luxury tattoo parlor, then they will use something like this, and I found that it works perfectly on the bag. So I've used this with different color jeans. I haven't actually tried to use this with like black jeans though, but I have used it with colored jeans or, you know, clothing that is a little bit more vibrant, and I have wrapped it all the way sort of to the edge and right under the bottom as well, because I know that sometimes the bag can lean on you in a sort of awkward way. And when I'm finished with this peel, I can just take it right off and then give the bag a wipe down, and then it should be good to go again. I can put another one over the top and it shouldn't damage the leather or anything like that. So that's my number one tip. I also have it on my Pearl Lotus. So this one you can see as well. It's got a little bit of markings there where it started to peel on the side. And this is a little bit more obvious. And then down the bottom as well. It really does do a good job of looking like the bag but still protecting it and giving you that peace of mind that you can style it however you want to. Patina on the handles will always happen. It's just a natural thing. If you are using and touching something with your body, even if you have dry hands, over time you will eventually get a patina on your bag handles. So this bag's handle has slightly patinaed, very, very minimally. Not a lot, because I do tend to wear this one crossbody, believe it or not. I actually like this bag a lot more crossbody than top handle, mainly because I can't really, you know, squeeze my hand through here very easily. So I find it easier when it just sits on the body. But eventually, you know, you will get a little bit darkening or a bit more of a grayish tone on the handles, and this is just something that you can't really avoid. However, if you do really want to minimize any of that whatsoever, then you can use a twilly. And I have used twillies on the white Lady Dior bag. However, I haven't used any on this one, and I do carry this one top handle quite a lot, and you can see that it doesn't look a lot darker, and I've managed to just absolutely wing it with this bag, and it's still very durable. It still looks lovely, and there's barely any wear and tear on this bag, and I'm very surprised by that. Because I have used this one like quite a bit, but yeah, the handles still don't look like they're browning or anything, and yeah, I think just looking after your bags as well probably has a lot to do with it. So anyway, there are my tips and tricks on how to prevent your bags from getting any color transfer, patina, keeping your bags in the color that they originally were painted or dyed in. And I hope these tips work for you. If you have any other tips that you know of, please let me know down in the description. I find this really helpful as I'm always trying to think of new ways. But anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in the next one.